Hung had come back not with grand gestures, but with the quiet hope that maybe, just maybe, he could help Hoai Ka remember the parts of herself that had faded into the shadows of time. He didn't bring anything with him except a handful of honest memories, broken, beautiful fragments of a youth they once shared. All he needed was a spark, just a moment. And maybe then, maybe she'd remember. Could love and memory really reach into the fog and bring her back? If your heart aches watching this single mother fight to piece together her forgotten past, show some love with a like and hit follow so we can continue this journey together. That morning, the sunlight had already crept past the curtains, but Hoai Ka was still lying in bed, something she rarely ever did. Normally, she'd be up early helping Grandma Bay with the little things around the house, but not today. It wasn't fatigue that kept her in bed. It was the dream. Her body was covered in sweat, her breathing shallow and rapid, her face damp as if she had just escaped a nightmare. In the kitchen, Grandma Bay had been up since dawn, as always, quiet, steady, like the heartbeat of the home. Breakfast was the same as usual, 2 bowls of instant noodles. Simple, but warm with the comfort of companionship. She carried 1 bowl inside, ready to gently wake Hoai Ka like she did every day. But when she opened the door, she stopped in her tracks. Hoai Ka was still lost in a daze. She reached out and touched her shoulder, whispering, sweetheart, come eat." Hoai Ka jolted upright, eyes wide with panic. "Tony? Where's Tony?" Grandma Bay gave a calm smile, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Tony's at school. Mr. Ha took him early this morning. You were sleeping like a rock." Hoai Ka sank into the chair, wiping sweat from her forehead. Her thoughts were racing, her body still trembling from the dream. Grandma Bay watched her closely. "Something wasn't right. You slept late today. Bad dream." After a long pause, Hoai Ka exhaled slowly. "I dreamed about a woman. She was chasing me, hitting me. I don't know who she was, but she felt familiar, like someone I used to know, but I just can't place her." Grandma Bay gently handed her a glass of warm water and rubbed her back with the tenderness of a mother. "It was just a dream, my child. But maybe your memory is slowly coming back." They ate together, steam rising gently from their bowls. Grandma Bay told stories about farming life, mundane yet comforting in their simplicity. And through the little things, the meal, the stories, the morning sun, Hoai Ka felt a strange warmth stirring inside her. After breakfast, she took the bowls to the kitchen. Her movements were slower than usual, but steady, more grounded. Like her body remembered what her mind had forgotten. Every small act felt like a quiet step back to herself. Later, they prepared to head out to the field, gathering tools, a sickle, a small hoe, and a bottle of water. As Grandma Bay reached into the basket for her old cloth bag, something hidden beneath a folded scarf caught her eye. It was a small beige canvas pouch, stained and faded from the rain. She pulled it out, furrowing her brow. "Ka, I think Mr. Ha found this near the stream when he rescued you. I tucked it in the basket and forgot about it until now." Hoai Ka stared at the bag. For a brief moment, something flickered in her eyes, recognition or fear. But it vanished as quickly as it came. "No, that's not mine. I've never seen it before." Grandma Bay didn't push. She simply nodded and tucked the bag away again. "Maybe someday when you're ready, it'll mean something to you." Out in the fields, the morning sun was rising higher, casting long shadows across the earth. The scent of wet grass, fresh soil, and dried corn husks mingled into something uniquely rural, something that felt like home. Together they stepped onto the small plot behind the house where the old corn stalks stood dry and brittle, ready to be cleared for the new season. They divided the tasks, Grandma Bay digging at the roots, Hoai slicing down the stalks with rhythmic thwacks. Each swing of the blade felt like cutting through the past, making room for what's next. Sweat rolled down their foreheads, but neither of them complained. In work, there was peace. In motion, there was healing. And in that field, under that sky, something began to shift in Hoai. The past was still a mystery, but the present. These quiet moments, these soft breaths between labor and laughter, they were real, and they were hers. When the sun reached its peak, Grandma Bay dusted off her hands. "Come rest a bit. It's too hot now." They sat beneath a small tree, sharing a bottle of water and some rice from a lunchbox. Around them, the world was still. The only sounds were the cicadas singing and the wind rustling through dry leaves. And as Hoai looked out across the golden field, something stirred again deep inside her. Not quite a memory, not yet a revelation, but a feeling, a sense that maybe she belonged here. Meanwhile, just a few miles away from that quiet field, Hung sat motionless in a small, dimly lit room. His face was tired, etched with worry and helplessness. Ever since he learned that Hoai had lost her memory, it was as if he'd been stumbling through a fog, unsure of where to go or how to bring her back to the life they once shared. He stared at his phone, missed calls, unanswered texts, a long list of names that meant nothing now. Old friends, co-workers, even distant relatives. None of them could offer the help he needed. But then, he remembered someone. Thu, an older friend from back when he first graduated, someone who had always looked out for him. Hung didn't hesitate. He grabbed his jacket and rushed out. The sun was beginning to sink, casting a golden haze over the town. The heat was no longer harsh, but his heart beat fast as he walked down a familiar narrow street, heading straight to Thu's quiet home. She lived in a small house tucked deep inside a peaceful alley. When she saw Hung walking up, broom in hand, her face lit up with surprise. "Hung, wow, it's been forever. Everything okay?" He nodded, voice hoarse with emotion. "I'm so sorry for showing up like this, sis. I need to borrow some money. Just for a bit. I'll pay it back as soon as I can." Thu hesitated. She clearly wasn't well off herself. But the look in Hung's eyes, it was raw, desperate. "What happened?" she asked gently. Hung shared the basics. About Hoai, her memory loss, Tony, his struggle to hold it all together. As he spoke, something softened in Thu's gaze. She didn't ask any more questions. Instead, she disappeared into the house, came back a moment later with a worn envelope, and handed him a few folded bills. "It's not much, but take it. Call me if you need more. And take care of her, okay?" Hung bowed his head. Words failed him. His throat tightened with gratitude. But instead of heading home, something tugged at him. A memory, a feeling. He missed her Hoai. He missed the way she used to look at him, the silly little arguments, Tony's laughter, when the three of them spent time together. As the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the yard, Hung found himself outside Grandma Bay's house. It was quiet. No voices, no movement. He knocked, waited. Nothing. So he sat on the porch, gazing up at the row of bamboo trees swaying gently in the breeze. And he waited. An hour passed before two familiar silhouettes appeared down the dirt path. Grandma Bay and Hoai, carrying tools and walking back from the fields. She looked tired, her smile faint. When she saw Hung, her eyes widened with surprise. Hung, Grandma Bay called, smiling warmly. "Come in, son. Been a while since we've seen you." They sat together with cups of hot tea, the air thick with something unspoken. Grandma Bay recounted the strange dreams Hoai had been having. How she'd started remembering little bits here and there, especially after visiting the waterfall a few days ago. Hung froze. Without a word, he pulled out his phone and scrolled quickly to an old photo album. There it was, a picture of them all at the waterfall. Hung, Hoai, and Tony. They were laughing. The water rushed behind them, brilliant and white. He turned the screen toward her. "Do you remember this place? We were here once. Tony loved the water, and you were afraid of slipping." Hoai stared at the image. Her breath caught. Her fingers trembled as she held the phone closer. Her brows furrowed, not with fear, but with effort. Something about the photo was tugging at her. "It feels familiar," she whispered. "Really familiar, but I can't name it." Hung gave a soft smile. That was enough. He could see it in her eyes, that flicker of recognition like a spark in the dark. He turned to Grandma Bay. "Where's that waterfall exactly? I want to take her back." "Maybe, just maybe it'll help." Grandma Bay nodded. "It's at the west edge of the forest. You'll need to take the old trail by the ridge. But be careful. Go early and don't let night catch you there." Hung looked at Hoai, his voice low, full of hope. "Will you come with me? Maybe something's waiting for you there." She didn't answer right away, but in her eyes, a light flickered, small but real. And that was enough. He gently reached for her hand. His grip was firm, warm, steady. She didn't pull away. And together they stepped off the porch and onto the old red dirt road that led into the forest. It wasn't a new path, but to Hoai, it felt like walking into another life. Bushes brushed against her legs. The trail was half covered with weeds. Birds sang in the trees above their voices, a distant melody to this quiet journey into the past. "Remember the first time we walked this way?" Hung asked with a smile. They reached the curve in the path, and Hoai stopped. There it was, the waterfall. 10 meters high, the water crashed down in a bright cascade mist, rising in the sunlight like diamonds in the air. Moss-covered stones lined the pool. Trees bowed gently toward the water's edge. She said nothing. She just stood there, eyes wide. It hit her like a wave, too strong, too deep to describe. She couldn't breathe. Hung walked beside her, pointing at a flat boulder near the falls. "We used to sit there. You held Tony in your lap while he splashed his little feet in the stream. You laughed so hard." Her gaze followed his finger. The rock. It looked just like he said. And then, a flash. Her mind played a scene like a faded home video, her on that rock holding Tony, laughing, her hair down, eyes bright, the sound of rushing water all around. It disappeared as fast as it came. She clutched her head, overwhelmed, shaken. But something inside her stirred, something real, something true. The mist from the waterfall sparkled in the light. Nature surrounded them, silent and sacred. Between memory and reality, between the one who forgot and the one who never gave up, something had begun. A journey, a return. And they were walking it together.
Cô đặt tôn xuống và nhìn anh bò đến góc thường lệ của mình, nơi một chiếc chăn mềm mại. và 2 cuốn sách cũ kỹ đang chờ đợi như những người bạn cũ. Hân ngồi trên mép giường chỉ nhìn anh nghĩ ngợi. Cô biết rằng vẫn còn những ngày khó khăn ở phía trước, những hóa đơn phải trả, những chuyến đi bộ dài, những khoảnh khắc khiến cô tự hỏi liệu mình đã làm đủ chưa. Nhưng giờ đây, sâu thẳm trong trái tim, cô mang theo một điều gì đó khác biệt, ký ức về chính mình trong chiếc váy cưới bằng lụa đó và lời hứa lặng lẽ mà nó để lại. Cô vẫn vậy, cô vẫn đang trưởng thành. Cô không muốn chiếc váy đó đánh dấu bất kỳ bước ngoặt nào, để chỉ là một khoảnh khắc, chỉ là một chiếc váy, nhưng nó đã trở thành mọi thứ gì đó hơn thế. Không phải vì cô trông giống như một cô dâu, không phải vì nó giống như một câu chuyện cổ tích, mà bởi vì trong khoảnh khắc đó cô nhớ lại, ngay cả đôi tay gầy gò vẫn có thể nắm giữ những giấc mơ, ngay cả khi trái tim mệt mỏi cũng có thể bắt đầu lại. Và đối với Diệu Hân, người phụ nữ mà cô có thể ngưỡng mộ, mẫu người không bỏ cuộc, mẫu người tìm thấy con đường trở lại với vẻ đẹp, từng bước lặng lẽ và mạnh mẽ.